In today's short video, I will cover two settings that you should look at on your Olympus OM-1 and also a couple of things that are more specific to the OM-1 and the Pro lenses that one should be aware of while using the OM-1. Let's take a look at the camera settings. As most of you would already know, you need to press the menu button to get to the menus and therefore the settings on your OM-1. Once you do that, you will see a menu like this. The top is the main menu and just under it are the pages and the tabs. Both of these can be accessed using the front dial for the main menu and the back dial for the submenus or the tabs or the pages. You can also navigate the menus by using the joystick or the arrow keys, but there's no way out of the menu itself, a submenu or whatever, without pressing the menu button. So although you can navigate using the joystick and the arrow keys, there is only one way of getting out of the menu, and that is by pressing the menu button. Now, this is the first option we would want to look at and change. By default, it is set to the legacy of JPEG, which is not really desirable in almost any condition. Personally, I set it to RAW, but you can also set it to RAW plus superfine JPEG in case you want the JPEGs for whatever reason. Both of these are good enough. Since you have the RAW, you will be future-proofed. As technology improves, processing improves for the raw data, you will be able to get better images out of the raw data rather than a JPEG, which you can't really manipulate or do much with. Now we move on to the next setting, which is the file naming convention the camera uses. By default, it is set to reset, which means it will reset the file name whenever you format the SD card, which means that you will land up with duplicate file names after formatting a card. So unless you are careful while you are importing or renaming the files on import like I do, set this to auto so it will continue the naming across SD card formats. This is just to be on the safe side, and it is entirely your choice as to how you manage your workflow. This next setting you might want to look at in case you are using two SD cards in both the slots, and how the slots are used is determined by these options. Once you go into the card slot settings, you'll see the save settings. I personally choose the automatic mode because it fills up one card and then automatically uses the other, but you might change it as per your requirements. We now come to the Pro lenses for the OM-1. Most Pro lenses, if not all, have a manual focus clutch. Now that clutch can be activated without your actual intervention. For example, while holding and focusing on a subject, or just the act of pulling your camera out of your bag. Fortunately, there is a workaround for this option. Just go to the AF menu and make the clutch inoperative. That way, you will never run into the surprise of the clutch being pulled into manual. Last but not the least is the IS on-off switch on the Pro lenses. What is different about this from the other lenses that I have seen on other camera bodies, if the IS switch on a Pro lens is switched off, it will also switch off the in-body stabilization. So be very careful about this, because this can also happen without your knowing just by pulling your camera out of the bag. That's it for now. Have fun. Till the next one.